Hey there, happy afternoon, almost after school time. My name is Krista Bigler. I'm a DIY and dietitian, and you guys know that if you're on this page, hopefully. And I help people go from feeling fine to fabulous with food, nutrition, and exercise, and all that good stuff that we kind of just round up into one ball of what we call healthy, right? So, I've been having a lot of conversations with people this week and reading a lot of articles, and I'm seeing some common threads. I am seeing that people are talking a lot about guilt. I see people feeling bad about not being where they want. Maybe they're not done Christmas shopping. They feel bad about that. Maybe they're a stay-at-home mom. They're not feeling very fulfilled, or they're frustrated where some like personal house projects are going, or they're not happy with the weight loss that they're having, or maybe they're not at their lab goals or whatever. So my point is that people are just kind of feeling guilty this week, and I wanted to talk about this in a way that kind of reframes it. Because ask yourself, how do you want to feel at the end of the day? And if you're live, jump in and say hi, please. I would love that. So how do you want to feel at the end of the day? So to get started on figuring that out, just take out a notebook and start dumping feelings or like thoughts or ideas out onto it. Brain dump it out. I started a mind map behind me. I don't know if you've ever heard of a mind map, but it's a way to kind of declutter your brain a little bit. So you start with like one main topic. So this, you can't see it very well, but it says end of day feelings. And then whatever you think of from that, you put little arms on and you write it down. So I've done this before, and I've written down like energized, I want to feel nourished, I want to feel like respected and calm at the end of the day. All those things, right? All those things that you put on your main topic, then whatever you think of, and then from there, you can write down what you think would help get there. And this is just an experiment, basically. So if I want to feel nourished at the end of the day, maybe I want to eat a certain way to feel nourished, right? If I want to feel energized at the end of the day, I need to figure out what's sucking all my energy out and kind of maybe do the opposite. From here, you can kind of reverse engineer how you want to feel. And it's a little bit of trial and error, a little bit, but when you just get it out, you're going to have some self-awareness. Self-awareness is one of the best gifts that you can give yourself, okay? So you just need to let it out sometimes. Let out those feelings. How do I want to feel at the end of the day? Brain dump it or mind map it. There's a couple other ways to maybe do this too. I've got like a vision board over here where I've got things like in pictorial form. And then I've seen some other things like journals that do self-reflection at the end of the day. I'm going to add the link in this video, but I have a new workbook called Tired by 3 p.m. What's zapping your energy and figure out how to get it back. And at the end of it, there's a couple of pages. There's a link to a template in Evernote, if you use Evernote, for self-reflection. And then there's like these self-reflection questions. So they are, how was my day? Did I have achievements or challenges? Was I thriving or just surviving? How's my physical, emotional, and spiritual health? Or my relationships surviving or thriving? What did I learn today about myself, and what gave me energy? So just having those self-reflection things really can help. Second thing I want to bring up is, I know this is going to come up because I have these conversations with people. They'll be like, well, it'd be fine to feel happy at the end of the day if my husband wasn't such a grouch potato. So that brings me back to, if we rely on other people for our happiness, then we won't be very happy. So we just have to, like positive and negative energy and vibes have kind of a 10-foot radius. So they have a far reach. So when you've got someone blasting that negative energy at you, like if you have ideas for that, by the way, like write them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. But you have to deflect those. So I want to give you a couple ways I did this in the past couple days that worked. And I don't always do that, but if you absorb it, you're going to take that on and it's going to be weighing on your shoulders. So do whatever you can to deflect it gently. For example, yesterday I thought my husband kind of seemed kind of grouchy. I could have been prickly back to him. And instead I just decided to stop and ask him that evening, did you have a bad day? He said, no, why? And I said, because you're still frowning at your iPad. And then he kind of straightened up. I mean, even if he told me no, I was still thinking he did because of the body language, right? Body language speaks volumes. But so we were able to kind of regroup from there. Yesterday I had another client who was frustrated that his lab values weren't where they were going to be. And he kind of threw something and said, well, I'm not even going to try this anymore because I'm just frustrated. It's not even working. And I said, I think it's okay to kind of step back and then refocus your lens, because if you've been working on something really hard and you don't feel like you're getting headway, sometimes it's just best to step back and reassess the situation, right? just sit back and kind of do some self-reflection and reassess it, and then maybe when you get back to it, you'll feel better. Okay? I really wanted to mention this one during the presidential election. If you rely on others for happiness, it's hard to be happy. If your happiness is hinged on, you know, what someone else is doing, then we gotta reevaluate kind of what our priorities are and how we find our own inner happiness, right? Third thing I wanted to mention is that you'll find some clarity through action. So if you actually do this and kind of reassess it often and reflect it often, you'll make progress in this. Actions dictate how we feel, right? So if you kind of write this all down, but you don't come up with some of the things that go underneath of these, then we won't find things. Don't be afraid to fail when you're trying to achieve this end of day feeling, right? That's what we all fail with things. You know, the greatest successes come out of failure. Walt Disney was fired from some earlier jobs because he didn't have a good enough imagination, right? So as you keep trying things, you can stop, say, you know, why didn't that work today? Was my goal list too long for the day? You know, did I have unrealistic expectations for myself today? And then maybe you just know you need to shorten that up, because maybe you're a mom and you got 5 kids and you just need to like step back and say, you know, I can only accomplish like these 2 things because I've got all these other things going on. Okay. So a couple resources I wanted to give you, as we kind of finish out 2016, and we kind of look at not feeling guilty, just being happy with where we are right now in this holiday season, would be, I'm doing this devotional with a friend. It's called Made to Crave, and it's about 60 days to craving God and not food, and it's really very good. And you know, this season is full of kind of inner struggles sometimes with food, a little bit, and that's not what we want. We don't want to feel guilty at the end of the day. We want to feel good. And so this is a great book. It's just like a 1 or 2 page every single day. So you can check that out. I'll put in the description the link for that energy workbook if anyone wants that or just wants that self-reflection template. But I hope that was helpful to someone. You can let me know below if it was, or if you want, if you'd like to have some resources on figuring out how to prioritize, you know, the main topics in life, and kind of figure out if you're feeling like jumbled up and you kind of need some help like organizing some of that. I would love to do a live on that next. So that's all for today. I'll go back to cooking tomorrow, but with all the conversation and banter about guilt and kind of feeling in shame over the holidays, I wanted to address this and say, yeah, let's not feel guilty about anything, right? Let's just enjoy this season and kind of step back and take this time to reassess, like, how do we want to feel at the end of the day, and what are our actions doing to kind of get us there. So hope you guys have an awesome rest of the week. I'll probably be seeing you again for some recipes, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.